Hello and welcome to Train Sim TV. In today's video we're taking a look at the Spoorlijn Zwolle Groningen route. Hopefully I've pronounced that right. If I haven't, I do apologise. We're going to take a look at the introduction to the route and the ATB tutorials for this first part. And then the next video will be a complete drive of the route. So, welcome to the Netherlands. Embark on an all-new European journey in Train Sim World with Spoorlijn Zwolle Groningen. Run express passenger services in the raised cab of the iconic NS ICM Koplopler and dash between commuter towns in the modern NS SNG. A new country and challenges await. Right, that's a little blurb. We're going to do the route introduction, and there's an ATB tutorial as well, which, to be honest, I haven't a clue what you have to do. So it would be quite wise to definitely have a look. Really excited for this. Nice to have a Dutch route officially as well. As with the only ones we've ever had in Trains in Classic were freeware ones, and they're really hard to get in and get installed. Half the time stuff was missing.
Welcome to Zwolle Station, located in Overijssel province in the Netherlands. The station was designed by Nicolas Kamperdijk and built by the Rijkswaterstaat in 1866. It is one of two Stadsspoorwegen first-class Waterstaat stations in the country, awarded first class for its size. In 2023, the station served over 44,000 passengers.
I love that the people just walk through you. I did notice that there was a bit of an issue with the headlights.
Looks like a route map is missing. Let's go ahead and place this missing one while you wait.
Yeah, the tail lights were on while it was moving. Did it change? Ooh. Yeah, I like that. That's different. They've gone for a new approach here. Nice.
There are more route tasks to discover. Make sure to apply missing route maps, clear fallen trees, tidy up after fallen bikes, and fix miniature windmills.
Sounds good. Right, let's go and get in the car.
Take a seat. The train is just about to leave. The station has a bike shed with spaces for 5,800 bicycles, one of the largest in the Netherlands. Between 2010 and 2015, the station was rebuilt to cope with the increased passenger numbers expected, due to the new Hanselijn line between Lelystad and Zwolle. Welcome to the Netherlands. Embark on an all-new European journey in Train Sim World with Spoorlijn Zwolle, Groningen. Run express passenger services from the raised cab of the iconic NS ICM3 Koplopler, and dash between commuter towns with the modern NS SNG. A new country and new challenges await.
ATB introduction.
In this training module, you will be taken through the basics of the Dutch automatic train control system, called ATB, which provides the in-cab safety and signaling system. ATB EG, or first generation, covers the signal pulse codes and cab speed enforcement. ATB VV, or improved version, includes track magnets installed at select stop signals, which provide increased protection. First, let's turn on enforcement of ATB. If you leave enforcement disabled, you will still receive guidance from the system, but do not need to take any actions. With enforcement enabled, you must react correctly or the train will be stopped.
Okay. Now let's turn it on. So over here on the back panel, got the little switches here. So flip open the little toggle hatch thing and then just flip the switch.
The ATB system consists of two parts. One within the track and signal infrastructure to generate pulse codes, the other on board the train to interpret and enforce speed restrictions. ATB enforces speed restrictions between 40 and 140 kilometers per hour, determined by the pulse code being generated from the next signal ahead of the train. The principles of ATB works as follows. When approaching a slower section of track, a change in pulse code occurs, which will be detected by the train. The train picks up this pulse code change, and the ATB determines the new maximum speed to enforce. ATB only intervenes when the train speed exceeds the pulse code enforced speed, or the brake curve speed enforced by the magnets ahead of a stop signal. So long as you keep under these speed restrictions, ATB won't intervene. In this training module, you will be exceeding the speed restrictions to see the ATB intervention and learn the procedures for handling it.
So my understanding is, obviously, you need to keep under the speed limit for nothing to go wrong. Also, I just noticed a little detail on the back of this panel. The actual, where the little switches are, they actually are slightly open. And then they shut fully when obviously the switches are set. That's cool. Right, okay. Let's get in the train. Need to put some power on, so it must already be set up forward. Here we are. Go. So that's where it's ringing a bell at you, see. When you go over, that must be it telling you. We're just going to go via the location first. We'll just keep at the speed limit. Also, this thing goes quite quick. I'm not reviewing it at the minute or anything like that. I'm not going to talk about the details stuff. We'll do that properly in a bit. Right, so that says to me 6, so I'm presuming 60. Then 8's coming up shortly on the HUD, so it'll change to 8 on the flag, on the cab. Look down here. That where it says 6.
When a speed restriction is exceeded, an alarm will sound to warn the driver. The driver has a few seconds to apply the brake to safely reduce the speed of the train. Accelerate the train now and exceed the speed limit. When the alarm sounds, apply braking until the train speed has reduced below the current restriction.
We're essentially doing what we just did a minute ago. If you don't bring the speed down within a certain time, I think it'll lock the brakes on. Right. We've got to reduce the speed. There we go.
If the brake is not applied in this time, ATB will enforce an emergency brake application to bring the train to a complete stop. Exceed the speed limit again and wait for the train to enforce emergency braking.
Okay, right, go, go, go. We'll let it do its own thing this time. We'll kick it at about 85. We'll wait for the train to stop now, so we're going to carry on. So it's got to 90, it doesn't like it, it's locked the brakes on, as you can see there. The bells have gone off because we've gone under the 80, but because we've exceeded, not intervened, ATB's intervened instead. Actually, sounds pretty simple, actually, to be honest.
In a situation where you need to recover from an ATB enforced emergency braking, the following steps are the required recovery procedure.
So, if this happens, you need to put the max brake on. Go.
Press the Aunt Gwendolen button on the digital display screen.
Gwendolen, where's that? Ah, up there.
Set the master controller back to the 0 position.
You can hear it click if you click the screen. Right, master control to 0.
There is an indicator on the display screen to indicate the emergency enforcement. The indicator will turn off after the recovery steps have been performed.
Now we're going to go driving under the speed, well, not exceeding. It sounds pretty straightforward, to be honest. Make sure you don't go over the speed. It's now 130. Okay, so make sure you don't go over speeding. If you do overspeed and you get the bells, make sure the ringing, make sure you come back down in time. Otherwise, yeah, brakes are on. If you find yourself in an emergency situation, then obviously it's max power. On Gwendolen, whatever it said, on the screen, and then 0, and it should be good to go again. Sounds good.
You will now experience an ATBVV enforced brake curve. Proceed at 40 kilometers per hour until the emergency brake is triggered. When approaching a signal equipped with the ATBVV magnets, you must be prepared to stop the train. ATBVV magnets will enforce a brake curve over the existing pulse code restriction, which is intended to stop the train before passing the signal. These ATBVV magnets are installed at 120, 30, and 3 meters in front of select signals, but will only enforce a braking curve when the signal displays a stop aspect.
Go max. Easy, is that really? Did it say no more than 40? I think. What did it say then? You'll experience ATV brake enforced brake curve. Proceed at 40 kph until the emergency is triggered. Should trigger. Because there is a yellow, I think. Is it to do with the yellow? We've got yellow and the next one's going to be red. So yeah, it's stepped back down through yellow. I presume if we go over this here at 40, it's going to intervene. My understanding of this anyway. I could be totally wrong. We're going with it. Keep it at 40. Ready for the emergency. It's going to be these magnets coming up here now on the track. should go now. Or not. I have no idea. No, oh, there we go. It does stop before the signal. It's pretty good going.
Perform the emergency brake recovery procedure as previously demonstrated.
Okay.
Set the master. Press the on Grendelin button. Set the master controller back to the 0 position. When the signal aspect improves, these magnets will disable the brake curve, allowing the train to continue solely under the influence of the pulse code restriction. The train must pass one of these magnets in order for it to relay the command to enable or disable the brake curve. In some areas, there is also a disarming loop that stretches about 60 meters from the signal, which can disable the brake curve without needing to pass one of the ATB VV magnets. It is recommended to proceed at no more than 10 kilometers per hour until you pass the signal to ensure you are clear of the braking curve.
Okay.
Until you pass the ATB VV magnet, you will still be driving under the influence of the braking curve.
So, am I meant to be going no more than 10? I'll double check this. It is recommended to proceed no more than 10 kph until you pass the signal to ensure you're clear. Okay, so until I've passed the signal. I've passed the signal. We'll just trundle up to this marker. It should hopefully tell us that we are good to go again. I'm doing more than that time. I'm doing 20.
That covers the basics of the ATB safety systems. You can always replay this training module if you need a refresher on these topics.
Simple enough. We'll see what happens with that in proper practice when I come to do a proper trip, because I'll have to make sure I turn all this on, because I've done the training now, haven't I? I signed the gen, I've signed it, I've tick sheeted it. But yeah, that is the introduction and the training done. We will move over to the route itself as a drive next. We might as well include it as a whole thing, hadn't we? Right, so we are back on the main menu. We're going to once again pick Spoorlijn to Groningen. We're going to go for a run in the timetable. You can see as well, we've done the 2 modules. There's 6 scenarios included in this route. All varieties of difficulties and durations. No more than an hour for your longest one. But on the timetable, we are going to jump into the SNG3 again for this. We're going to do another video following up from this one with the ICM, the Koplopler, rather do that one on its own. So keep an eye out for that. You do, as I say, get G6 and a Vection 193 run as well. So there's some bits of freight included. I think they're to do with tanker runs. The look on here, there's a few bits for you to do. There's a couple, actually lengthy runs to be fair. They go up and down the route. And on there you get 3 different shunting runs. Not overly long, but there is some bits there to play. So go down here a bit. I'm going to do a short run. I'm not going to do an end-to-end run on this video, because I'm going to do the full end-to-end with the Koplopler. As I say, this video will be quite lengthy by the time we finish it, so we'll not bore you. So there's some nice short runs and there's some longer runs as well. Now, there was some Assen to Groningens, but they seem to be more in the early morning hours. I'm scrolling down to see what there is. Maybe they come back in. Oh, they are. There's one there. We'll do Assen to Groningen. They seem to disappear in the middle of the afternoon, and they come back at like, sort of peaks. They must be peak services. But with that, just gives us a little insight of what to expect here. Now, what we've seen so far looked nice. Nice bits of trackside clutter on there as well, weren't just bland. You got to remember, this is obviously new territory. So DGL have had to make a whole new suite of assets for this. So we are at Assen. So we need to set things up. So I'm going to put the key in. Burst it into forward. And double check, because we haven't actually set a train up yet. So we are kind of going blind here, really, because it was all set for us on the tutorial. Signal lights and marker lights. I think it's meant to be marker lights. Train itself's nice, I would say. I remember driving one of these on Trains and Classic, because Just Trains sell a lot of Chris Trains' content. So I have played with this briefly on TSC. However, it was always a real nightmare trying to get any Dutch stuff to work in TSC, because it would never work. You'd always be missing something. So I always used to give up in the end. It was a shame, because I always wanted to actually have a good run with the stock and see what there was, and there was all sorts to play because the JT site had it all to basically play. But I was just looking there. But Dead Man, I believe it probably will be. Yeah, it's basically Q. Right, ATV's on. Let's see if we can remember what we've got to do with that. We're in a bay platform, so obviously Assen gets bay terminators. That is buffers. I like the end of track detail as well, actually. They've got these extra rails in there. Crossing details good. Yeah. Yeah, definitely nice. They've definitely gone to the town with the crossings. Looking at this, they're all like this. That's pretty decent. It's one of the best level crossings in the game, I'd say. I mean, level crossings are a big feature across the Netherlands. I think this route's got a high number as well. New style of OH there as well. The whole, obviously, OH suite will be new for this. Oh, it's got compound wire. Double wires. Now these are the same family as the class 195s and 331s that we have in the UK. Slightly different obviously in look, but they're in that same Civity family. These are the magnets and stuff down here that we were on about earlier, like for the signalling. Well, these little bits and bobs there as well, sticking out the ground. Right, shall we move? We have a window. No. The solid horn. This station's looking rather hellfire, isn't it? Look at that. Wow. That's impressive. Like it's been made out of a lot of wood put together. Fresh built. Right, we've got a couple of stations on our route here. We're going to Haren, Groningen Europa Park, sorry, and then Groningen itself. I wonder if we can turn down the AC and stuff on this thing. So that's the alerter there for the dead mans. I don't know if you can actually turn down the HVAC or not. Yeah, I have not a clue. there might well be a way to do it, but don't have a clue. Can do 140. 19 kilometers to Harren. Or Harren. Plenty of grass going on, which is nice. There's some high amounts of grass going on, which is what I like. Not bland. Blind and stuff there. I'm just going to bring up the route map, watch the dead man's go off now, so you can have a quick look at this. It's obviously a nice length run, some long straight runs, quite straight in some sections, but it's a long route. I'll move that over there and just something up. Of course, this route is £32.99, so it's in the same ballpark price as West Coast Main Line Preston to Carlisle. Oh, hang on, I'm having a moment. No idea what's going on here. Oh no, we're back. Thinking about something. No idea how it does that, because it isn't struggling any other time, is it? As you can see, it's running pretty well. Very smooth. We're running very steady. I'm going to get rid of that stop marker thing. I don't need that on now. I need that on before, just for the tutorial stuff, because I knew where I was going. Trying to bring up the article for the route. I can never get onto the article website, so it always takes an absolute age to like open up and just go up then. Alright. Well, it's obviously the time that you see this video that the route is out, so console users can get this now. Steam Epic, and that will be later on in the day, as usual. This is the first Dutch route. Comes with 8 stations. It runs between Zwolle and Groningen. In between you've got Meppel, Hoogeveen, Wielen, Assen, Harren, and Europa Park. Probably pronounced them somewhat wrong. I do apologise. Yeah, it got the general feel. I mean, it feels like I'm in the Netherlands. Oh well, the nests. So these are a common feature across the route. Look around the woodland area, you find a lot of these nests. So you'll see them all over the place. And have a look at them, because they're not all the same either. Like, some have got birds stood up in them there. There's some with like eggs in and stuff as well. They're not on every one, but they're on quite a lot of them. There's another one there. I think they're more around the woodland area. I don't know if they're more in the open bits, but definitely around where there's loads of trees. You seem to find them, I think. I think it's quite cool. It's a nice little feature that's been added there. But the route itself is just over 100 kilometres. Hang on. So it's 100 kilometres from Oldenburg. But actually, that isn't actually that far, is it? So Bremen-Oldenburg, we've got that route in the game, obviously, as you know. So it really isn't far away from there at all. Going distance. This route itself covers 107 kilometres between the cities of Zwolle and province of Overijssel and Groningen, which is the capital of the north. No doubt you guys come here just to listen to me absolutely butcher places' names. Oh, there's a guy there at the back. You actually see bikes on the move, like people actually riding bikes on the path. So if we see one, I'll show you that. They're a new feature. They did feature on the West Somerset Railways update as well, but I think they came from this. It just happens that they came out first for West Somerset's update for Thomas. Which no doubt people are actually enjoying. I've seen loads of videos from the Thomas stuff. Some people have started making their own stories as well, which is pretty funny to watch. I have an idea of doing something myself, but I'm trying to think of the best way to do it. I want to make it sound like it is a Thomas episode, and just like, hello, this is Thomas. But I'm going to try and do something. I've got an idea. I just need to try and execute it well and make it flow, not be boring. So for your $32.99, as I say, you get 2 trains with this route, which is you don't often get 2 brand new trains in a route. I'm trying to think the last time we got a route with 2 in the same pack. Not like, you know, like if you think the West Coast Main Line, that came, but one was separate, like as a deluxe thing. In the same actual product, could have been like Spirit of Steam or something. That had 2 steam locos, didn't it? So yeah, it's the. We'll pull it up. There's a couple of them. Screenshot time. Attention. So this is the Koplopler, which is renowned for its high leading cabs. Really high up. It's actually higher up than the air conditioning and electrical equipment on the top of the unit. Really will feel like you're king of the rails on this thing. I look forward to having a good drive with that. Cool looking things. Really cool. I remember seeing pictures of them as a kid. My uncle, he travels all over the world doing railways and stuff, and I remember seeing pictures from the Netherlands in his collections as a kid. Even like he had pictures of obviously when the 76s, like some of them, or there was a few of them that came over this way, like the Woodhead stuff. I remember seeing some pictures of them as well in the Dutch livery. But yeah. Really, I mean, these are 1970s. These are actually not modern. The difference is that they used to have a gangway, but they got capped off. I think in the 2000s. So yeah, they're now like as a capped off units you can't walk through. They do still pair them up. I'm not going to do a screenshot of that because there's OHL in the way. Pesky OHL. So I'm just reading on the article. So that'll be why the Woodhead stuff came over here, because it runs on the 1.5 kV DC stuff. So I think that's literally like the same kind of like stuff as Woodhead was. Hence why them locos must have come over here, or some of them did. But yeah, as I was saying, $32.99 obviously gets you like your 2 trains, and you're getting a whole new suite of like OHL assets and stuff like that. Loads of new stuff. So obviously the money has to be made back somewhere. You gotta look at that. I know people will probably be moaning at the price, but unfortunately, to get a new country and new infrastructure made, it's not cheap. I'm liking this. It feels really nice. New signals as well. They're obviously a new feature. So all that's had to be made. New signage. I don't think there's any not sort of new foliage though. I think the foliage is sort of the same. There might be a few bits here and there dotted about, but for the most part, I'd say it's a lot of the same foliage. Stuff like houses and stuff like that. I mean, these look new. I've not seen these before. You've got to get the right feel for a route with the asset library. It's looking good so far. I'm not just saying that because I'm doing a video. I generally do like it, and I was excited for this, to be honest. say it was somewhere new and somewhere exciting, something that I've always wanted to play in TS Classic, and I just never were able to. I'm not going to get the sun on the front there. I don't. Oh, hang on. Trying to get the sun on the. There we go. Potential. Might not be the winning image, but yeah. Going through a little suburb here, a little village or something, a little town. Definitely new houses. $4K from out of there before we get told off for speeding there. Yeah, not far from Harran. Yard here, some freight wagons. I don't think these see use. I think these are just mainly as a static. It's the tankers, I believe, that are what you'll see use on. Show up here actually. There's a G6 down here as well, so you'll probably run into this yard, no doubt, and there are some Koploplers in there as well. It's nice to see the G6 used because they don't really see much use in the game. I mean, they've appeared on some freeware timetable mods, but you don't really see very much use from them at all on any official routes. So yeah, it's nice to see them make an appearance. Oh, ATB's just stepped down, so 130's coming up. I think our station's coming up actually as well. Yeah, the attention to detail is very nice on this, especially the crossings. Vectron. The Vectron's had an update as well to, I believe it speaks to you as well, like the signaling and stuff like that. It tells you. So I look forward to having a drive with that. And I hope as well that with this route, it's not just a one-off and that's it, we won't see it again. Like we did with the French thing. That was it, no more to be ever seen again. I'm hoping that this opens up further routes, because if we can get further routes, we get further trains. I think that's going to be a very nice sort of thing to have. Also, I want to get rid of that. Right. There we go. So there's a 3-car marker on the platform there, look. Just have a little listen to the doors and watch the doors. The step. Just sounds exactly the same as the calves do over here. It's a familiar sound. Oh. Walking over that imaginary step. Interesting station, it's not got fencing on the back of it, especially when there's some fencing here, but then again that's probably nearer to the track, but yeah, interesting. Signal models are nice, I love the textures on them. Nice. Especially all the padlock detail about that, that's smart. Yeah, I like this little bikes here, look. Ah, that's one of the collectibles. I believe you'll probably pick the bike up and whatever, and the tulips must go into the basket. Defib. Yeah, you can tell they've really put some effort into this. I mean, you can even look at these. You read all of the posters. I'm liking it. Look at this. Some decent work's been put into this. Look. That flashing there. No idea what that is. Wonder if that's to do with the, like an RA indicator or something. We've got a green signal, so Groningen Europa part next on the short run. Good for 130 kph as well, but not that far, like I say. Now we've only got 2 stations left on this. The crossing barriers flash as well, look. And sound of bell as well. New tube fencing on the side of the tracks there. Got this thing down to 80. You see the ATB's just kicked in there, so it's telling us we need to be down to 8. Good. So all, as we've learned in this video, with the ATB, it's all about ensuring that you're down and you pay attention to the speed drops and make sure you're down in time. Don't be crouching over. But if you do and you find yourself in that emergency situation, it's pretty simple to get yourself out of it. You need to put yourself into max brake, press the red button on the screen there, into 0, and off you go again. So don't panic, it's simple enough. It's just a case of ensuring that you follow these magnets, and when you've got the red magnets and that, you need to be down right at slow speeds, like 10 kph, and then make sure you stop in good time. And then when you go past the signal under like the I think what was it called, like the brake curve, make sure you don't go speeding over until you're clear of that signal. That's my understanding, and if I'm understanding that right, we should be fine. Should be fine. I mean, we're driving fine at the minute. We're observing, we're obeying, we're down in time, and we're not being braked and emergency brakes or anything like that. So I must be doing something right, guys. Right, we're coming up to the next station now. Markers in the track this time. We are 4 cars, so we'll stop there. Oh. I did just knock that into emergency by accident. You are right. It was bang on there, so that's telling us 4 car for both sides with the arrows there. Chalk floor, bits of rubbish. Ooh. Platform 3. Sprue 3. Oh, it's a shame with the glass for the LODs and the white strips sort of like just popping. Big ticket machines. The textures on these stations are very nice as well, I must say. I'm liking the architecture, like the designs are very nice, all quite funky looking. That one not stopping there. Very close to the other train behind, isn't it? Right. Oh, right, that's why, because there's no yellow. Because I'm speeding up to where there's a 40 coming up. And the ATB flag's yellow. So, better not do more than 40, had we? See, it's learning. I am learning. I would have slowed down in time. But evidently the train's got other ideas. Also notice there's only some tracks that aren't electrified here as well, so is there some diesel stuff that would run down here, maybe? No, there must be. Also, when you get these bells and stuff ringing, you've got so long to react as well, so it's not just I'm going to put your brakes on. It actually does give you time to react to it. If you don't react to it, though, that's when things go the other way. Wrong. Nice to see we've got some new bridges as well, not just the usual regurgitated same old stuff. That's not me speaking for the further end of the route. It could be some like reused stuff we've seen in other routes, but I hope we don't keep seeing the same stuff. Big station. It's an interesting station. Looks like there's through platforms and non-through platforms here. Scaffold up on that station building. Very grand building, isn't it? Trains out and stuff. The building site at the minute. Have a quick look inside the unit. First class up here. Oh look. Yep. Bet you can't use it. No. I've actually been stopping in the wrong location. We're actually a 2-car. No, we're not. We're 3-car. Ooh, yes. Like a waffle. I'm actually liking the idea of this station being a building site. It's really cool. Have a selfie with building site, yeah. Have a little mooch. Oh wait, up there's one of them collectibles, look. Ring ring. Oh whoa! There's paint on the wall, look. That's cool. There's a map. I do like them maps. There's someone on the bike over there, look. We'll see someone else come through here. No idea. But there is someone on the bike. No idea how often we'll see one. Oh, but very, very nice to be fair. Just from what we've seen so far, it's very nice. I'm looking forward to doing the full run for the next video with the ICM3, is it? The ICM Koplopler. But no, the Civity itself is a very nice unit as well. It's nice to drive, and the modelling is lovely. Yeah, it's nice all around to me. Right, let's get the door shut. Just end that there. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Links are in the description, but they will be there from when it goes live on Steam, so keep an eye out for that. However, if you're a console user, it's already out now, so you can pick it up again. $32.99 in the English pricing there. I believe there's also a Dutch regional version of the game as well, which I think was $34.99 if I remember correctly reading. I've got the article up actually still. Hang on, let me just double check this. So, right, so Train Sim World 5 Zwolle Groningen route will release, so it's already out obviously now. So it's €39.99, £32.99, $44.99. For anyone yet to have upgraded to Train Sim World 5, there will also be a TSW5 Dutch Regional Edition available for, yeah, so £39.99 again in euros. It's £34.99 on $34.99. But note, for Steam UK price will be $32.99. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so not much more. You can get the game and then the Dutch routes. That's quite cool if you haven't upgraded it yet. Excellent. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit your notification bell for future videos. And if you've not taken a look at our previous library of videos, go and have a look. There's loads on there. Keep you busy between the next one and this one. Catch on Twitch on a Friday and a Monday. Twitch.tv/trainsim_TV for a plethora of train sim related content. But until next time, guys, thank you again for watching. Take it easy. See you very soon. Bye for now.